when you give yourself permission to just go, okay, that's the fear. How can I just befriend it? How can I just kind of surrender into it? It doesn't mean giving up. It just goes, okay, that's a fear. And if that is true, can I make peace with it? If it's not true, what is the truth? And can I prove to myself what is the actual truth? Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode. I'm so excited you are here. Happy New Year. Are you excited for the new year? I know I am. I know that the new year can start off with a big buzz and we can get super excited. We can start with a sprint and then it becomes like a slow jog, and then it feels like we are being dragged to the end of the year, depending on the type of year it is for you. Every single year is something different. I know in 2024, I had a rough year in some areas of my life. In other areas, it was amazing. And so I'm really excited for 2025. Now, as we're talking about playing and moving into what your soul's calling is for 2025 and an awakening to it, I do want to just mention this. In 2025, we are celebrating this new year, and so it's from January to December. I also know that sometimes the year doesn't feel like it actually begins until spring. And so know that you do not have to start off sprinting in 2025. You can take a slow, steady crawl to spring. And once spring comes, you might feel the urge to start running and sprinting with your ideas and inspirations. While some people might want to just start sprinting in January of 2025. So depending on what you are wanting to do and how you're wanting to do it and your personality and your goals, you make that determination. You decide. And as always, I'm going to share this with you. Get support, receive support if you are not getting to the goal and the intention that you are wanting and dreaming and desiring to have, because sometimes we need that extra support. So let's talk about what first the energy of 2025 is. And the energy of 2025 has many different energies. The one that I want to specifically focus on today is about being our authentic self. Yes, that's right. Like, it is all about us showing up authentically ourselves, expressing ourselves authentically, and moving and navigating through our life in the most authentic way. And that means saying goodbye to things that are no longer in alignment with us, doing shadow work, doing deep work that is keeping us stuck in illusion or trances, and getting out of those trances and stepping into our true authentic light and our true authentic expression of ourself. And that also allows you to live your purposes and step into your soul's calling for this year as well. If you did not check out 2 episodes, we have 2 episodes on the age of Aquarius. I talked in depth about this on one of our live experience shows. We'll put it in the show notes. And I did an interview with Eric Tyler as well, and he talks about the age of Aquarius. That was a really fun interview. And so check out both of those episodes to go more into depth of the age of Aquarius, because we are in the age of Aquarius and we're going to be in the age of Aquarius for a really long time. And it is about authentic expression and doing the deeper work. And so you want to get going on that this year, because you are going to meet parts of yourself that you are lovingly want to let go of. You are going to love them to death, because by loving them to death, your true authentic self can step forward. And when you are looking at awakening to your soul's purpose, awakening to your soul's driven mission for 2025 and beyond, because it's not just for this year, this might be something that you are looking to awaken to for this year, and you're wanting to go deeper into it and make it a part of your life, part of your mission, part of your goal, or maybe it's just for a chapter. Whatever the case is, it's really, really, really important to do the work, and it's very important to listen and pay attention to your intuition. And not all intuition sounds and looks the same. And what do I mean by that? You might have a calling to do something bigger, but you don't hear a voice in your head what that is. You just have this feeling or this knowing that you're meant to be doing something different. You're meant to be doing something bigger, but you can't really articulate it yet. I know this is how I would describe what I was wanting to do 10, 12, 15 years ago. Actually, probably like close to 20, because when I first entered into my previous career, I told myself I was only going to be there 3 years because I knew I was meant to be doing something different, and I couldn't articulate what that was or what I was meant to be doing, but I knew I was supposed to be doing something different. And it wasn't until I started studying, until I started following the energy that was presenting itself to me, that I was like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be helping people. I'm supposed to be coaching. I'm supposed to be teaching, like all of the things that I love to do, but I didn't quite understand that, one, I was really good at it, and two, that was a thing. Sometimes there's these things that exist that you don't even know that are a thing. I didn't know the coaching industry existed. I didn't know that I could go out and teach about spirituality because it wasn't in my awareness where I lived in Wisconsin. And when I moved to South Carolina, it became way a part of my identity. It became a part of my awareness. It became a part of my community circles, and it was amazing, and I was so grateful for it as well. And so when you are looking to awaken to your soul's purpose, your soul's mission, you want to pay attention to your intuition and your wisdom and follow the energy that's presenting itself to you. And it does not have to be loud and clear. It could be just a little inkling, a little feeling, a little sensation that's just like, there's something there. Let me investigate it. Let me look at it. Let me dive deeper into it. And then the next thing that you're going to want to do in order to awaken to your soul's calling is give yourself permission to be 100% free of your fears. And that sounds like a big ask. And what I mean by that is you might feel that you want to go and start a company, or you might want to start learning how to bake. You might want to find your lover. You might want to buy your dream house. There's so many different goals and dreams and purposes and things like that, right? There are always fears attached to those dreams and desires. And when you give yourself permission to fully acknowledge that you are in fear, you then can have the ability to have the bravery to acknowledge those fears and tell your mind, your emotional body, your inner child that, yes, you might be fearful of that very thing. However, there's a bigger reward if we work through the fear. And then you can paint a picture of what that reward might be. It might be ultimate freedom. It might be community. It might be creating a family. It might be helping many people. Whatever it is, your desire must outweigh your fears. Your desire and your faith in yourself must outweigh the fears. And so you have to be willing to look at the fears. You have to be willing to lean into the fears. You have to be willing to go where you haven't gone before in the past. I know for me, when I had that desire to leave and start something different, I was very, very fearful that I wasn't going to make enough money to support myself, to support my living situation, to still have the lifestyle that I was used to. I was very, very in fear of that. I think that was my biggest fear out of all my fears. Learning how to do it wasn't a fear. Eventually, figuring out how to make it successful was a fear, but learning how to do it wasn't. It was, how do I make the same amount of money? Because I didn't believe that that was even possible. And so I had to work through that fear. And one of the ways that you can work through the fear is, one, by talking to yourself, journaling about it, researching, finding things that allows you to demystify the fear itself. And for me, the way that I demystified it was I hired a coach. I gave myself a deadline on when I was going to leave my previous career. I wasn't anywhere close to that. I actually set the intention on January 1st. I'm going to give myself one full year. I'm going to leave this because I wanted to leave my career at the 10-year marker. And I've been in it for a full 10 years. I was done. I was complete. I didn't want to do it anymore. And so by hiring a coach 6 months into the year, because I wasn't ready in the beginning of the year, because I thought I was going to take off running, and then I realized my fears were crippling my fears were crippling me, and I was just running in place. I wasn't getting anywhere. And so I hired a coach. We worked out my offers. We worked out everything that I was going to do. And then I put myself into action. And by befriending the fear, so I befriended it by going, you know what? I'm okay if I make less money. I took it away from myself. And that might sound crazy and ridiculous, but my happiness was more important than the money was. And I had to choose my happiness over the money. And so I'm not telling you that this is a good idea. I'm just telling you that this is one of the ways that I worked out one of my fears. And when I did that, all of a sudden I could feel myself going, whew, I feel a relief. Okay, no big deal. If I don't make that much money, not a big deal. At least I'm happy. At least I'm happy doing something I enjoy doing. And then once I started talking to prospective clients, and I realized that this was no different than what I was doing before in terms of offering services that I believed in, that I could not only make the same amount of money, I could possibly make more money. And so that's the cool thing about this, is when you give yourself permission to just go, okay, that's the fear. How can I just befriend it? How can I just kind of surrender into it? It doesn't mean giving up. It just goes, okay, that's a fear. And if that is true, can I make peace with it? If it's not true, what is the truth? And can I prove to myself what is the actual truth? And the thing about your mind is your mind tells you lies all the time. Your mind is stuck in the past, and your mind wants you to believe a certain narrative because it kept you safe until this point. And the truth of the matter is, your mind wants to keep things orderly and keep things smoothly moving, even if your mind is miserable because you are not happy, because you're not doing what you want to be doing. You're not creating what you want to be creating. And your soul is here to create. Your soul is here to just give so much beauty and magic to the world, because there is nobody else uniquely as you are. You are a particular vibration, you are a particular frequency, and your frequency is such a blessing to the world. And what makes you unique is all of your experiences, and you can take those experiences from this lifetime and all the other lifetimes that you had, and you can create something magnificently beautiful. So the question is, are you willing to work through your fears? Because on the other end of it is a massive reward, and that is you stepping into your soul's calling. Hey friend, I have a special announcement. We are going to be doing our DNA Ancient Wisdom Masterclass series. It's absolutely free, and I want you to join me. We're going to talk about all things DNA, why it's important to activate your DNA, and we're going to do some really cool free healings. If you'd like to join us, you can click the link in the show notes, the show description, or you can go to theamyrobeson.com/DNA. I can't wait to see you in this series. And if you can't join us live, you can always catch the replay. Let's jump back into the episode. One of the ways to uncover what your soul desires to co-create, what you are desiring to do, what your soul is calling you to do, is by taking time to journal and to move inward. So instead of expanding your energy out, you're actually going to move inward, because you are magnificently tuned into the universe, because the universe dwells within you. God dwells within you. Creation dwells within you. It is not outside of you. And so by moving your energy inward, collapsing inward, and taking the time to just tune in by meditating and journaling, you're going to give yourself permission to start tuning into the desires that you and your soul are wanting to manifest, are wanting to step into, are wanting to co-create. So there are a couple journal prompts that I'm going to give you that you can journal on and meditate on as well. So here are the journal prompts. What lights me up and energizes me? What do I feel called to create, share, or experience this year? Another way to tune into your soul's calling is to spend time out in nature. Nature is extremely connected to Mother Earth, to the support system. There's all these beautiful networks that our body tunes into when we go outside. And some of you might live in very cold climates. Some of you might live in hot climates, depending on what side of the world you are on. Whatever the case is, it's really important to connect with nature. And so if you are like, no way am I going outside, I would highly recommend at least listening to some sort of nature sounds, or bringing some plants indoors and meditating with your plants, meditating with different elements, because this is going to help you to connect with nature. Nature is a way of expanding your energy after you have gone inward. And I also like it because nature has a way of scrubbing out the debris out of your energy field with each and every step you take. Nature has a way of cleaning up your dirty thoughts. And when I mean dirty thoughts, like our mind just gets clogged with all sorts of junk, thoughts, processings, because your mind wants to hold on to thoughts that are going to keep you from dying. That's how evolution works. And so instead of holding on to a positive thought, it's going to hold on to a dirty thought. It's going to hold on to a thought that's negative. It's going to hold on to a thought that's lower vibrational. So what you want to do is we want to dump, we want to clear. And so when we go outside, there's something about the air, there's something about purposely being outside where nature just comes in and gives you a nice big hug and sweeps out and cleans out the mind, cleans out the auric field, and assists you in getting grounded and more rooted in love and support. And when you're more grounded and rooted in love and support, the more clarity you're going to receive. I know anytime having a bad week, or I'm having a bad day, or I just have a lot on my mind, or I just have too much stress, one of my most favorite things to do is to go take a walk, because when I take a walk, I'm just letting go of the junk, and by moving the body, it's not stuck in my body. And if you're not able to do this, visualize doing this. Walk in place, walk around your house, do something to get the energy moving and flowing, because it is such a powerful, powerful way to cleanse and clear your energy so you can get connected and tuned into what your soul's calling is for 2025. And then once you do that, start paying attention. Start paying attention to signs and synchronicities and patterns, and journal them. Document them. Place them in the notes in your phone. There are signs and synchronicities that the universe is saying, hey, I got your back. Hey, you're on the right path. Hey, let's do this. And you might notice signs like 222 or 1111, or you might notice a bluebird, another bluebird, another bluebird, another bluebird, and you're like, why do I keep seeing bluebirds? Well, it's a sign, it's a synchronicity. It is a pattern of the universe, of God, creation, trying to go, hey, you are in alignment. Hey, we're trying to let you know that something's going on here. I know the other day when I was driving, I'm on this busy highway driving, and a crow decides to fly and drop down right in front of my car. And I'm like, that's fantastic. And then it just takes off. Crows are a big messenger for me, and I absolutely love crows. And so I know that was a sign for me to stop and pause, because there is a big download I am about to receive, because that's usually when the crows show up, that they're warning me about something, and or that I'm about to receive a big download, and that it's important for me to make space for that download so I can understand it fully. And so I'm like, yeah, I love it. I'm paying attention. Yes. So pay attention to the signs and synchronicities, document them, journal them, and ask for what their meaning is. You can meditate on the meaning of it so that you understand it more. Once you understand what your desire is, and even if you don't fully understand it, but you're like, we got to start getting momentum. Like, anything with momentum is going to create more momentum. So small, tiny action steps is going to be amazing. Small action steps might be making a checklist, or meditating on the things that you would like to do, or finding a book, or talking to someone. Any small action step is going to be amazing. Maybe you want to start dating someone. Maybe you start researching the different ways that people find dates. Maybe you start researching different dating apps. Maybe you start telling people, hey, I'm really interested in dating someone. I don't want to go on dating apps. I'm wanting to meet someone through a friend. Do you know anybody that's single? Maybe that's your small action step. All action steps are going to lead you closer to the goal. If you are not taking any action step, and it doesn't have to be big, it could be very, very small, your action step is going to get you there. If you're not taking one, you're just going to stay exactly where you're at and now closer to your goal. So take the small action steps and do it with momentum. Every day, work closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to your goals. And one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, I'm doing it. I'm so excited. And know that instant gratification doesn't always mean success. When you take small action steps, it might take you months. It might take you the whole year. I know for me, when I was like, I'm leaving my career, I literally left on December 31st. But I was working towards it. I decided I was going to start getting my website. I was going to start getting copy written. I was going to design a package. I was talking to people about my packages. I sold packages before I actually left my business. I started coaching people before I actually went full-time into my business and left my career. And so I had been taking action steps for years, but that specific year, I was like, this is the final year. I'm gonna do it. And so you gotta be your biggest cheerleader. When you take the action steps and you cheer yourself on, even if nobody else understands it, because I did have people that are like, what are you doing? Why would you want to do that? Like, doesn't make any sense. You have a good career. I'm not fulfilled. That's the thing. Your fulfillment is more important than what other people think about what you're doing, because what you're doing, some people are not going to get it in the beginning, and it is okay if they don't get it. I know one of my loved ones has a very specific plan on the way that this person wants to do his career. And I think it's great. Some people don't get it, and it's awesome, because it doesn't matter if anybody else gets it. What matters is that you get it, and that you are moving closer to your goal, and that you have other people that might not be your family members, might not be your friends, that have done it in the past or have done something similar in the past, and you can see that they've made it successful. Or you might not know anybody that's made it successful, but you just have this deep desire to do it. And so take those action steps. You can totally do it. Another way to tap into this alignment is to lean into yeses. By leaning into any time your body, your heart says, yes, let's do that, you are going to get closer to your goals, desires, and achieving them. I know for me, when I was like, I'm leaving my career, this is my big desire for the year, this is what I'm getting into alignment with, I know that I'm going to do this, I just started working towards it, and I was like, I know that I want to hire a business coach, I know I want to hire a life coach, but for years this was a desire, but I hadn't found anybody. And I paid attention to my body when one of my friends was telling me about a life coaching program she was taking. And my body was like, yes, tell me more about this program. And all parts of my body was like, yes. This is like, I know this is the thing that's going to help me get closer to my goal. And my body was like, yes. And then when I messaged the person, I got an intuitive hit to ask for business coaching as well. And so I knew I wasn't closer to my goal and I needed support. And even though I didn't tell my friend, I was looking for someone to help me with either one of these things. She was just talking about it. My body was like, yes. So pay attention to your yeses. Pay attention to the support systems, the people, the organizations, the experiences that can get you closer to your goal. Also pay attention to your no's, because every time you say yes to something, you're going to say no to something. When you say no to something, you have the ability to say yes to something that is in alignment with your goals, dreams, and desires. And so say yes when your body is saying yes. Figure out all the other details later, but say yes and say no when your body's telling you no, when your intuition is telling you no, when your heart is telling you no. Notice, pay attention to all of that, because it gets you into alignment. You want to set goals that are in alignment with your intentions. When you're setting these goals, make sure they feel good in your body. Notice if you have any reluctancy. If you do have reluctancy, check out what the reluctancy is. Reset the goal so it feels good and expansive. If it doesn't feel good, you're not in alignment with it. Also, Set realistic goals and expectations. Make the tiny little baby steps towards everything that you want to do, because it's going to be easier to achieve that goal in the end. Also, setting realistic deadlines is also going to be really helpful as well. Having a mantra is also very, very important. This is an intention, a chant, a prayer that you can say to yourself that is going to assist you in rewiring the subconscious and connect you into a higher level of frequency that's going to attract what it is that you want. And so I know for me, one of my mantras for a really long time that I would say is money flows to me easily and effortlessly. I've created the perfect business for myself. This mantra, I would say over and 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 over again to myself. I always have mantras that I'm saying to myself. And one of the mantras that I'm setting for 2025, that's going to be my main mantra, and I'd love to gift you this mantra as well, is I'm free to be 100% fully authentically myself. I'm free to be 100% fully authentically myself. Or you can say, I am free to be fully myself. Whatever feels good to you, you can totally do that. Now, let's say you're wanting to attract your perfect mate. Maybe your mantra is, I am so in love with my new partner and my partner loves me. That might be what it is that you want to set the mantra to. Say it, believe it, feel the impact that it has within you, because this is a way to play with your frequency, a way to tell the universe how serious you are, a way to rewire the mind as well. All right, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Remember, set your intentions, meditate on it, go outside, be bold, befriend your fears, work through your fears, get support, set a mantra, set realistic goals, take baby steps every single day towards those goals, and you are going to awaken to your soul's calling for 2025. And let's make it the most magical year yet. All right, please make sure you like and subscribe, share this with a friend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.